Hey guys, and welcome back. It's Dan Frio, the Mortgage Update. And I wanted to go over today a little more in-depth process of how to work on increasing your credit scores. The first video I put out there kind of explained kind of generically, some tips on what you can do to increase your credit score. And to date, I have, and it was like 7 months ago, I have almost, I think, 15 or 20,000 views on that. But some of the comments are coming back that's saying, it's not detailed enough, or there's a lot of questions in the comment section of that video. So I wanted to kind of do a new one to update some things and go a little more detailed. So again, I hope you like this video. I hope you like my channel. If you would, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would, so you get alerted when I post any new videos. Share this with friends, family, whoever you think might be able to help. So then I'll give you contact information at the end on how you can get a hold of me personally to kind of guide you through some issues that you might be having. So this is what I'm going to go through today is 7, I'll say they're simple tips. A lot of these things, you just do it on your own. What I try to do is have this kind of a do-it-yourself, a DIY process on what you can do to increase your credit scores. I'm a mortgage broker in the Chicagoland area, have been for over 30 years, so I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of credit reports, and I've dug into them a lot. And so, I want to go through some of these areas with you. You might want to pause here and just kind of view these sections here that we're going to go over. So you can do that on your own. But let me get to let's dig into this and let's see where we can get you. So the first thing I want to do, and this isn't part of the 7 steps. The first thing we got to do is we have to get your credit report. The one thing is when you go to Credit Karma, and I use Credit Sesame, and you can find that on one of my websites. Those are what they call Vantage scores. Those aren't real credit scores that lenders use. Those are basically an educational tool to help you kind of maneuver through this process and you'll see if your scores are going up or down kind of generically or kind of there is 3 bureaus out there, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. But when you sign up for Credit Sesame and Credit Karma, you're going to get a score, and it's kind of a blended score. And again, it's called a Vantage score versus a FICO score. Your FICO score, this is actually what the lenders use. And that's why I'm throwing this up here, because you want to see a credit report that your lenders or creditors are seeing, and that's what you want to work on. So you go to Credit Karma or Credit Sesame, and those are giving you kind of generic things, and they really don't go into very detailed information on your credit. So I actually created a website called creditscoresandmore.com. It's right down here. You can go there and do a whole bunch of these things on your own. And again, the reason why I'm doing this, I'm trying to do this so you can kind of DIY, do it yourself, and help improve your credit scores. Even if you have a 700 credit score, you might be able to get to 800. But the whole point is to get you from the 5s to the 7s, so you can get better rates on everything. Mortgage rates, car loans, insurance premiums, and so forth. So let's get to step 1. We want to check your report. Basically, we want to check that MyFICO. You're going to go to MyFICO on that previous slide when I said get your true credit report. You're going to go to the website creditscoresandmore.com, and you're going to do step 2, and that'll give you your real credit reports that lenders use. Okay, now we want to go through and check it for accuracy. You want to dig down into that thing and check everything. Check dates, check open dates, check balances, check any late pays, collections, judgments, bankruptcies. You really want to dig into that thing, because if there's a collection on there that shouldn't be, it's affecting your credit score. If there's an account that shows late and you know for a fact you weren't late, it's going to affect your credit score. There's a lot of things detailed in there. A lot of times if you're a junior or a senior, things on your credit report might be affecting you that's your son's or your dad's. So those are things you really want to dig into. So go through it as thorough as you possibly can. Don't leave any rock unturned. Okay, that's the first thing. You want to try to find misinformation. Believe it, 1 out of 5 credit reports have misinformation. The next thing we're going to do is Pay down your balances. The key point here is you want to get below 30%. Now, somebody commented on one of my last videos saying, oh, if you do this and do that, it's too generic. Well, no, the reason why I'm emphasizing this is you want to be 30% or below. You want to, don't close the accounts. Mainly, I want to stress on here, you have accounts. You can pay them off, but if you can't, pay them down to, if you can, easier said than done sometimes, to 30% or below the high credit limit. Now, where are you going to get the high credit limit? If you don't know it, you're going to get it on that My FICO credit report that you ordered, and it's going to show you a category or a section there next to each creditor on which your high credit limit is. Then look over to the balance, and you want to see what your balance is. If you can, try to get those accounts to 30% or below. Instead of having one maxed out and you pay the other one off, pay down the other one and leave this one at 30%. I think you know what I'm getting at there. So, try to focus on getting all your accounts to 30% or below, not 3 of them paid off and 3 of them maxed out. So I hope that makes sense to you there. Let's get to the next step. Payment due dates. So here's what happens is, let's say you have a credit card and it's $2,000. You charge it up every month. You max it out. Basically, you want to get the points, but you pay it off. Just saying. Well, what happens is you send in your payment is the $2,000 that you owe. You send it in when you receive your statement. Well, the problem is when you receive your statement is usually the day that your creditor reports to the bureaus. So what's going to happen on that date? They're going to push over the data and they're going to say you owe $2,000. Your high credit limit is $2,000. You're hitting your score. You're dropping your credit scores. But you might say, well, I pay it off every month. That's fine. But what's reflective on your credit report and your credit scores is the day that creditor pushes your data to the credit reporting agency. So again, they might have pushed it on the 15th. You got the statement. You're due on the 18th. You pay it off on the 18th. Doesn't matter because they pushed over that date on the 15th. So what I would highly suggest you do, maybe make a half a payment midway through the month and make the other half a payment the day that your payment comes due. So then you're 50% below. You might think, well, Dan, you just said 30% below. What I'm trying to say is this helps you more than just waiting to the last moment and paying the whole thing. So that's what I mean by making multiple payments per month. So like I said, if you are paying off your accounts each month, try to split that into 2 payments and send it at 2 different times to try to beat that statement date. Okay, so that's number 3. Here's an easy, sometimes it's an easy fix. A lot of times I see clients, that applied for a credit card. They're trying to build their credit. They get something and it's like a $200 Visa card. They go out and they buy groceries and it's $150. They're pretty much maxed out. Okay. So you'd think of it, well, it's only $150. That doesn't matter. It's based on your utilization rate, which is what you owe divided by your high credit limit. So in that case, let's say your credit is decent enough, call your creditor. Ask them to increase your line to $1,000, $2,000. Look at it this way. You owe $150 on a $200 high credit limit. You're basically maxed out. You're at 80%, 75, 80%. Okay. You ask them and they increase it to $1,000. Now you're at 15%. You're picking up points automatically by really doing nothing. I'm not asking you to go out and now spend the $1,500, spend like you normally do, but now your utilization rate is 15% versus 75%. You picked up points. That's an easy one right there. So try to do that when where are you getting these numbers? You're getting them off of the My FICO credit report that we pulled right at the beginning. Okay. Next thing is open a new account. A lot of clients I have very minimal accounts. So then if you have one bad account, let's say you have four credit cards or a car loan and 3 credit cards. You go late on one credit card, you're late on 25% of your bills. Get 2 more credit cards or some kind of credit, now you're at 10% if you have one late pay. Again, I'm not trying to put you into more debt. I'm making your credit profile look better. Also, by opening an account, the utilization rate is on the overall view of your credit is going to decrease. So you might not even use the account, but it's still available credit to you. And in that, in essence, is going to increase your credit scores because now you have a high utilization rate or low utilization rate on that credit card, and it's helping you out. So by opening a credit account, again, I'm not trying to drive you into more debt. I'm just trying to make you you have a better credit profile. So open a new account if you have minimal credits. Now, if you have 20 different credit cards, you do not want to do this. Focus on those accounts. Okay, this is if you have a limited number of credit cards or creditors. Next thing we're going to do, collections. This is a huge kind of no-no many times. I'll run into clients and they'll say, well, I just paid off all my collection accounts. So I was working with this other place. They advised me to pay off all my collection accounts. And then I did that. And then they went and repulled my credit and my credit scores dropped. So now I'm calling you to see if you can help. Well, you just kind of shot yourself in the foot. Here's what happens with collections, okay? The kind of the algorithms, I'll say, in the credit scoring profile is reading you have a collection. The dollar amount is irrelevant. It could be $1, it could be $50,000. It's irrelevant, believe it or not. And the last active date, okay? If that last active date is right now, then you're probably better off paying off that account. You might want to call them, see even if you can negotiate with that account, saying, you know what, I'll pay you in full if you remove your rating from my credit report. Sometimes they will, most of the times they won't. But if they do say they will, please make sure you get it in writing, because they'll tell you whatever you want to hear to get that money, and then they kind of forget about you. So now let's go back. Let's say that collection account is, and this is 2018 right now. Let's say that the collection account is 2010. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Yes, I said don't do anything. The reason being, it's so old, it's probably really not even affecting your credit score that much. So don't pay it off unless it's the only way for you to get the additional credit. So it might come back and say, you know, the only way you're going to get this mortgage is you have to pay off that account. Well, the good thing is you'll pay it off. You'll just get proof it's paid off, and then that company, hopefully they don't have to rescore your credit due to that. So you'll be okay in that situation. But it is, if that's the case, you're going to drive down your credit score. So to recap it, look at your last active date. If it's over 2-3 years old, don't pay it unless you have to. Or if you call that company and they'll say they will remove it, you get that in writing and you pay it off, and that'll be removed. And then that'll increase your credit scores as well. Okay, so these are all things you can do on your own. And the last thing is authorized user. Most people don't realize this, but let's say mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, somebody has, they have awesome credit. They got a great job. They've never missed a payment in their life, and they're proud of that. You might want to approach them. This might be a little bit scary or tentative to do this, but ask them if they would add you to their account, a credit card, a Visa, a MasterCard, something. I would even go out to say, you know what, tell mom, add me to your account. You don't even have to give me a card. You don't even have to, I won't even use the account. I just need your credit reference to help me. That's how I would approach it in that. So now you're getting their credit profile added to yours, and you're going to get, that's going to help you. Again, if they make sure it's an account that they pay well, the utilization rate is low, things like that, that'll help you probably within 30, 60 days. So those are the 7 kind of steps that I would want you to go through. Again, the first one is get your true credit report that the creditors, all lenders use, and then follow these steps 1 through 7. I can promise you'll increase your credit score. Even if you're at 700, you might go to 800. You're at 800, you might go to 810. You're at 500, you're going to go to 600 or 700. This is going to make a huge difference for you. So here's the website that I created that hopefully can help you. I post blogs on there usually once a week or once every other week. Very informative, and they go into these details really, really in depth. It's creditscores, plural, and more.com. This is me. Again, my name is Dan Frio. You can hear me if you're in the Chicagoland area of the Mortgage Update. I'm on AM 1160. You can also check me on the web at themortgageupdate.net. If you want to reach me personally, you can call 630-338-1160. You can even email me if you'd like. It's dan.frio, F-R-I-O, @gmail.com. So I want to thank you for watching this. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Love to hear from you. God bless. Have a great day.